watching at the same time, right? So 10, 20, 30 years down the road, people are going to have the same input, the same reference points, and that is going to play a major role in bringing the world together.
And you know, that's absolutely right, because in a sense, there's something I have in common with the people in this room based off of the anime that we were able to all watch together in the Philippines. But that might be different from someone in Japan, someone in Europe, someone in the US. But now all of those geographical lines don't matter, because, as you said, it drops at the same time. What I'm enjoying now, someone else from across the globe is enjoying at the same time, and we can talk about it. And the great thing about it is that it's titles like Godzilla, it's titles like Castlevania. These are as big as, you know, as a title as it can get. What does it mean to you guys personally to know that I'm one of the great forces behind this, pushing this title, this concept, you know, this much beloved, piece of art really forward in this new form in an anime? Takeshi?
やっぱりアニメは結構国境を越えやすいので、特にゴジラみたいなタイトルは、皆さんよくご存知だと思うので、すごく、プレッシャーも感じてはいるんですけれども、普遍的な、テーマ、愛であったり、今回復讐劇がゴジラのテーマなんですけど、そういったものを扱っているので、皆さんすごくアニメという媒体でこれを楽しんでもらえると嬉しいなと思います。
Of course, Godzilla is known by everybody, and I feel a lot of pressure keeping the idea and the theme similar for everyone to know. But since this time the Godzilla story is a little about revenge, and they're doing their best so that everyone can enjoy the anime version of the film.
You've done more than your best, sir. You've done more than your best when it comes to delivering Godzilla and bringing it to that level. Adi, Castlevania is a game that my mother has very mixed feelings about, because she loved it when I started playing it and she said, "Oh, you're kind of good at this." She started to not like it so much when I wouldn't stop playing the video game, and I would skip doing homework and things like that. I was absolutely in love with that video game. I'm sure you were as well. Now that, they put it in your hands and said, "Okay, Adi, we trust you with this, make this into an anime." When that first moment was official, what did it feel like to you?
It was definitely daunting at the time, right? Because animation in the United States at the time was seen as something that was basically either for children or purely for comedy, right? And then we had to go and literally create a production process and a production pipeline that simply didn't exist. So it was building it from the ground up. And now that the process has been built, we're going to have more episodes. Woo! By the way, what is this?
Power Glove!
There we go. See, we speak the same language. We speak the same language.
And that's the great part of what you guys are doing, because, as you said, Adi, this is an investment more or less for not just the people who love it right now, but maybe for that 6-year-old, that 7-year-old who's gonna stumble onto his Netflix and maybe discover it and start watching it. They didn't have the Castlevania experience of playing it, the game, but the first exposure to it is that show. And 20, 30 years later, that's going to be such a big part of him growing up. You must feel a lot of responsibility there.
Well, I mean, if a 6-year-old's watching Castlevania, there's something wrong. Bad parenting.
Some of them, they don't turn the filters on. But it's going to be a big part of so many people's lives as they move forward. A lot of it is because of this story that you're able to tell on this brand new production pipeline that you're talking about, really doing it, before anyone else has done it, at least at this scale, at least with these expectations. Is there a sense of, really responsibility for the industry there that you feel that you have?
Absolutely, and also, just to add to what you just said, as an artist, your dream is just to have some semblance of an impact on the culture. Especially if it's the culture that impacted you, right? I'm processing the world, I'm filtering the world, like I'm guessing a lot of you are, through nerd culture, right? And to have the opportunity, to have the privilege of now being able to not only play a role, but also have some semblance of an impact on nerd culture, it's a dream come true.
It's been a dream for us to sit here and watch it. Takashi, I want to go back to you. I want to talk about Godzilla here for a few seconds, but we can keep talking about it, or we can see it. Now, this launched last week on Netflix, and I'm sure a lot of people here have seen it already.